Welcome to another YouTube demonstration from QPSMR Limited. This time we will import a small SSS XML file using QPSMR Companion. SSS is the international standard for the interchange of survey data, and many programs, including those providing online data collection, are able to export SSS files. In most instances, an XML file which describes the questionnaire and a corresponding ASCII data file is provided. It's a simple process to import the XML file and then analyze the ASCII data using QPSMR Companion. For this demonstration, we have modified a small XML file so we can show you some issues that might be encountered. However, in reality, many files can be imported and analysed straight away.
To begin, we open QPSMR Companion, and from the main window we select File, Load from SSS XML, choose the file we wish to import and open. Immediately we see a message saying that one or more entries have been put into a hidden group and will not be shown. More about this later. Clicking OK, we see that the file load is completed, and we are advised that there is no serial number allocated. After clicking OK, we are positioned at the main window, ready to save the file by clicking the Save Changes toolbar icon. A log is then shown stating that the text is too long for entries Q1, Q2 and Q3. At this stage we will continue by clicking Yes and naming the QPSMR QDF file. We will type the name Chocolate Survey Extract and save. Once again, QPSMR reminds us that there is no serial number allocated as the file is saved, so we will deal with that first. Looking at the list of entries, there is one called RESP-ID. This name suggests it may contain the serial number. RESP-ID starts in data location 1 and has a width of 9. To take a look at the data for this entry, we can use Raw Data File View, then choose and open the ASCII data file to take a look. Starting at data location 1, counting across 9, and scrolling down, we can see what look like unique serial numbers. Closing the raw data file, another quick check we can do is to use the data drill down toolbar icon, select OK at the Significance Testing Formats dialog box, open the data file, then close the data log where all serials are currently shown as 0. Next, we simply drag and drop the entry RESP-ID into the rows box, and scrolling down we see that all numbers appear to be included once only. Again, this indicates that this data can be used as the serial number, so let's close data drill down and return to the main window. To set the serial, we will click the Project Global Settings toolbar icon, select the Data tab, and type the serial number width of 9 starting in data location 1 as used by entry RESP-ID and click OK. We can then select the original RESP-ID entry and use the toolbar icon to cut it from the questionnaire file. If we did not do this, QPSMR would show a duplicate data locations message because the same data locations would be used for the serial number and for the RESP-ID entry. Next, we will take a look at the entries Q1 to Q3 where QPSMR flagged a text too long message. If we double click Q1, we can see lots of additional instructions that follow the question text. As this is not needed in our analysis, we can simply highlight it and delete. As this is a tiny example questionnaire, we could then use the Show Next Entry down arrow and do the same for Q2 and Q3. However, if lots of entries within your questionnaire have the same text to remove, it is possible to highlight it and then right-click Copy and close the entry. At the main window, we can use Control A to select all entries in the project, followed by the menu selection Edit, Text Find and Replace. Paste the copied text into the Search For box. Leave nothing in the Replace With box. Remove ticks from all but the entry text box, and then select Text Replace. For this project, we can see that 2 entries have been changed, so we select OK and Close. If you remember, when we first loaded the XML file, QPSMR displayed a message saying that 1 or more entries had been put into a hidden group and will not be shown. This is because QPSMR automatically imported labeled variables from the original entries for us to use. The easiest way to explain is to take a look at the hidden entries by selecting Edit, Hide Groups, followed by Show All Groups. Note the tick next to the hide group is removed and we click OK. At the main window, we can now see 2 extra entries which were included in the program used to generate the XML file. This is a character question called wave, to which variable vwave refers, and an integer question called q4, to which variable vq4 refers. It is often useful to view all hidden entries when importing data, so you can double-check data locations and other information. However, as we do not wish to analyze these original entries, we will simply re-hide them by selecting Edit, Hide Groups, and once again ticking the Hide Groups box, then selecting OK. We will now update the vwave variable by double-clicking it and amend the text so only the word wave is shown, and close. We will use the vwave variable as the columns of some simple tables. However, before running our tables, we will add score values to the rating scale entries so that mean scores are automatically included. Holding down the Shift key, we click Q1 followed by the VQ4 variable, so entries Q1, Q2, Q3 and VQ4 are highlighted, then select Edit, Block Update Responses, followed by the Score Values tab. Highlighting the first set of responses on the left, we can see the response texts much too pale through to much too dark. We will allocate scores of -2 through to +2 by clicking the first response much too pale and typing -2 in the score value box. Then we click the ascending button. Notice the scores shown alongside the response texts and apply changes. We then click the next set of response texts and do the same again. The next set of responses represent a 7-point scale, extremely good through to extremely poor, so we will allocate a score of 7 to extremely good and use the descending button, so scores are allocated down to 1 for extremely poor, and again apply changes. Finally, selecting the last set of responses, we will apply a score of 0 to would not buy, then use ascending. However, as don't know should not be included, we will select that response and remove the score allocated and then apply changes. As all scores have been allocated, we close and then from the main window save our work. To run tables, we will use the toolbar icon to set up a tables file, QTF, which we will call example, then open the file. Using the Add a New Table toolbar icon, we will drag and drop vwave into the columns box, and then holding down the Shift key, we will select Q1 to VQ4 and drag and drop these entries into the rows box, then use the Run All the Tables toolbar icon. At the Tables Overall Settings dialog box, we will simply run with the default settings, so after checking that the data file is the one supplied with the XML file, we click OK. Our tables are then opened in Excel, the program we have set to view spreadsheet files. As you can see, an XLXS file is produced containing a content sheet and a sheet for each table. Looking at the tables, we can see that the question text and responses are shown. Each of our tables have the wave across the top. Where we applied score values to the row entries, mean scores are included, shown to 1 decimal place. There are many different spreadsheet and format options to control the contents and layout of your tables, which can easily be applied if required. For more information, please refer to the on-screen help in the QPSMR Companion Program.
If you would like more details about the products and services available from QPSMR Limited, please visit our website www.qpsmr.co.uk.